Hello, and I'm doing a walkthrough for 167. This is 167 Winterton Way, and it's in the Selly Valley in Sandpoint address. This is on 3 acres. It's a 5-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom house with 2 outbuildings. But we're not going to look at those first. We're going to look at the property. I'm going to turn this around because nobody. This is 3 acres. It's divided with 1 acre on this side of the road. This is the south side, and 2 acres on this side of the road with the house. You can see the house is there just beyond the tree line. And this road, Winterton Road, it's a county maintained road. I'm going to back this out so it's easier to see more. The south side of the road is undeveloped. On the other side of these trees is a nice big open field with lots of solar exposure. It's all flat, it's all usable and suitable for all kinds of things. Maybe a barn for animals, or an ADU, additional dwelling unit. But as we get into the property here, you're going to see there's the house right here. It's a very large house, and this very, very large barn. We're going to look at the barn first. This barn is 48 by 36. It's got brand new doors. Those doors are rollers, and when the sellers first moved here, it didn't have the lean-tos on the sides. They built those lean-tos. Those have been here for a few years now. They work just beautifully. They go full length of the barn. The doors are enormous. The reason the doors are enormous, and watch me. These doors are enormous because it's let me put my shoulder into it. It's cold. The reason these doors are enormous is because there we go. Because they have RVs. So they've got these enormous RVs that they've had in the past. That right now this is just the only one they have left. I'll turn it around again. It's also for sale. Country coach. You can see I think it's a 34-foot country coach, 13.5 feet tall, easily clears. They have room for a boat, the gator, and a pickup truck. Plenty of space for other things. 220 electricity. And some brand new doors. They put the doors on this summer, and plenty of parking along the sides for other things, trailers. So, moving on to the second outbuilding. House is provided with gas by propane. Most of the folks out here in Selly Valley will just sign up for a subscription service with the propane company. We're looking at the deck. That's a full-size deck that's covered. It's an important thing that it's covered too, because you don't want to be shoveling off your deck. You want to enjoy your deck without having to shovel it. And that's what you get here. But as long as we're looking, I'm going to point out that the septic tank is here and the drain field is down in that area. So you have propane, gas, which is one of the heat sources. It's also got a wood heat source, and with 2 stoves, an upstairs and downstairs. You have propane, gas, you have a septic tank. The only thing you don't have to make it completely off-grid and self-sustaining is solar power. But you do have a generator, and that's what you got in the little wood shop. This is the spot where they also put the lean-to on this one as well to cover up the wood processing. Sellers do like to cut their own firewood. And so they cut it and split it and stack it here. Stays nice and dry. We're just gonna check out the shop in here. It's the only messy place in the whole place. Here we go. The shop has a concrete floor, oversized back door. You could probably drive a little lawnmower, riding mower through it. It's got a garage door here for riding lawnmower, or as one of the buyers that has already looked at the place said, he had 2 sons and both of them like to do go-karts. But the other thing that is important to see is that this is where the generator plugs in for the whole house, for the whole property. The generator, you'll have to get your own generator. It's not included with the sale here. We're going to turn that off. And we're going to go inside. Now we're going to take a look at the upstairs part of the house first. And I got to go upstairs now and take off my shoes, and I'll start over inside. Okay, I changed my mind. We're going to do the downstairs first. This is, obviously we just had snow, so it looks a little different than it normally does, but upstairs and downstairs, we're going to do downstairs first. This is a 2-car attached garage. We're not going to go in the garage first. We're going to go into the basement first. Patio out here underneath the deck. This wasn't here when the sellers bought the place around a decade ago. This was just all graveled in, and it sort of sloped down. They bumped it out and put in all the paver stones and made it a really nice little sitting area in the summertime in the shade. It's a pleasant place with all the Edison lights too. So let's go inside. The basement is an unfinished basement, but you can see they've made it pretty comfortable. Still a few things left over before they finish moving. First thing you see when you come inside is the stove. This stove has been here since it was built. It's an older stove called the earth stove. Works really good though, and has provided a lot of heat and warmth for the family. You go over here. We'll start here. This is hydronic heat, on-demand heat. It provides hydronic heat to upstairs, and we'll see that when we get up there. Bathroom wasn't here when they bought it. They have built this bathroom in so that it would be a livable space downstairs if they ever needed it. And you can see they're pulling stuff out of storage and getting ready to move it. So it's a little bit, well, there's a few extra things in here right now. But these things are functional. All of these items here, it's just the stuff on top that they're moving out right now. This is just partitioned off for guests. Nice and warm down here. We've got a storage space. Yeah, that's where you keep the Christmas tree. But also there's this shop room back here. It's got the double doors. They're extra wide, which means you can put a lot of things in here. And this is the tinkering room. Notably, this is also the place where the water pressure tank is for the well, and also for the whole house vacuum. This was here when it was built in 1980, and you can see the pipes run along underneath and provide vacuum suction to the whole house. And I'll show you a couple of those spots when we get upstairs. Before we go all the way upstairs, though, we're going to go take a look at the 2-car garage, attached garage down here. Oh, something that needs to be said. The basement walls are half the height of the wall. They're half-high walls. But what is not obvious when you're looking at it the first time is that they're extra thick. They have in the Selly Valley, you have really high water table, and this house was built a little bit above the water table, a little bit more than normal for a normal house in Selly Valley. And the walls were built so thick, and the center beam posts made out of steel. This house is it's overbuilt. Not a drop of water has ever been in the basement as far as the sellers know, for as long as they've owned it, which has been over 10 years. So, just an interesting thing to note. The garage, 2-car garage, more of these posts, and a very, very interesting little room right here that we're going to take a look at right now. Insulated. It's a dry storage room. And you could convert this into cold storage if you wanted to, very, very simply, because it's so over-insulated. See how thick the doors are. There's my hand. I think that's a 2x6. So this room is built with shelves in it, and I'm gonna turn off that light. And it can be padlocked. So if anybody wanted to use this home as an Airbnb, there would be an easy way to lock up and secure supplies and snacks and goodies and stuff. So with that, let's go upstairs. I'm gonna put it on pause for a minute. Okay, I'm back. So I had to take my shoes off and come up the stairs. And here we are upstairs, and the first thing you see when you come upstairs is the dining room and the windows outside. You got ceiling to floor windows in the dining room and the living room, and you see they span the whole length of the living room. And what's really nice about these is that there's privacy blackout shades on all of the big windows. It's all the way through the living room. You can see them over here too. They've got the same shades over there. But before we get to the rest of the living room, let's look at the kitchen. Dining room table. Dining room. Granite countertops in the kitchen. Gas stove in the island with the overhead exhaust. All of these cabinets were custom made by a cabinet maker in the area from barnwood, from a barn that was just around the corner from here. So, copper farmhouse sink. You can see it's starting to snow again outside. All of the appliances are new. Stainless steel. Lots of cabinet space. Upstairs, you saw the laundry downstairs. Well, we've got laundry upstairs too. Laundry, and when you go through, this is also a mud room type of area with entry right there on the deck, from the deck. There you go. And this is the half bath. You might notice if you saw the listing that it says 3.5 baths. This is the half bath. Pocket door. This might be the only pocket door in the whole house. One of 3 entries to the deck is right here. Let's take a look at the deck. There's the stairs up. And you know, I'm in my socks. It's nice and dry. Beautiful wood deck, lots of space, totally covered, protecting from the snow in the winter and from the sun in the summertime. Makes it nice and shady and pleasant. The hot tub has been here for 1.5 years. It's brand new. It's used fairly regularly. It's in good shape. It works fine. And there's a nice little sitting area over there next to the master bedroom. Now, I mentioned before that there was a septic tank just below the deck. It's right down there. And the drain field goes out to this space out here, which normally is just grassy, but you can't see any of the grass. The boundary line is just a few feet beyond the fence back there. That fence line gives you kind of an idea of where the boundary is, the north boundary of the property. Super peaceful. You can't hear any highway noise or trains or anything, which is kind of uncommon in Sandpoint because there's trains everywhere in Sandpoint. Yeah. Let's go back inside. Another interesting thing about this place, most of the furniture that you see here can be negotiated into the contract. That's just a broom closet. Oh, it's a pocket. Yeah, nothing special. The sellers used to have several Airbnb type vacation rentals, and they're consolidating now. So this is one of the last properties for them to sell, and with it, if you would like to negotiate into the contract any of these furniture items that you see upstairs, it's easy to do. All you gotta do is ask. This is a Kuma stove. It's only a couple years old. It's going right now, as you can see. It's a very, very efficient stove. It has a catalytic converter inside that reburns the smoke as the wood burns. So there's almost no smoke at all that comes out the top of the chimney. It's almost completely burned by the time it gets there. I have the same one at my house. I would recommend anyone to buy the same Kuma stove. Secondary heat is the hydronic heat. You see these baseboard heaters, they're not electric. They're heated water. So you don't have to rely on it's automatic, set to the thermostat. You don't have to rely on the wood heat if you need to leave the house vacant for a couple days. The house will stay nice and warm just based on the hydronic heat. I mentioned downstairs in the basement that there's whole house vacuum. So, see more baseboard heat, and there's another vacuum port. The first door on the left here is just a closet. It's another coat closet. First bedroom. This is bedroom number 1. You can see this is I think this is a king-size bed. So these bedrooms are fairly large. Little closet. Oh, something else to mention. This house was built in 1980s. It has been almost completely renovated. However, the sellers really liked the very unique on-off switches for lights from the 80s, and so they kept them. Bedroom number 2 used to be the seller's office. So you'll see that it has a unique light in the corner. That's where they kept the desk. So it had plenty of light. It also has its own little hydronic heater. But here's another one, another kingish size bed. I think these are kings. Bedroom number 3 looks just like bedroom number 1 and bedroom number 2. They're all the same pretty much. Well, not all of them. The master's different. You've got this. This is bathroom 2, because we already saw the half. There's one downstairs. That's a terrible photo or video. Let me see. And this is a bathtub. So, fairly normal looking tub. the mirror. That's a queen size bed. The queen size bed allows for a lot more space in the bedroom. Hydronic heat in the floor. That is personal property. It's just plug in wall heater. It's more for the ambiance than it is for the heat. And then the master bedroom. California king size bed. These sliders are oversized. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but they're definitely larger than a normal slider. Screened in and gives you easy access to a little space on the deck out here in the mornings and evenings. Third pocket door, third bathroom. Turn on the lights. There they are. Turn that off. There we go. So, a couple things to talk about before I finish up this kind of long video. Bonner County has jurisdiction over the footprint of the things that you build on this property. Every property, but they only have jurisdiction over the footprint. Every property in Bonner County in Idaho is allowed to have one house of any size, and this is a really large house, almost 5,000 square feet. Not quite 5,000. I think it's 4,800. You're allowed to have one house of any size and one additional dwelling unit of 900 square feet, up to 900 square feet. So if you wanted to, there is still space in the county code to allow a ADU, additional dwelling unit, on the other side. Alternatively, if you didn't want to go through the expense of that, but you wanted to have two dwellings on this property, it would be very, very easy to convert the downstairs into a living space and split the levels, making this a duplex. That would easily get you more potential earnings from vacation rentals. And something that, because I own horses, there's something to know about this. You've got enough space on the other side of the road to put in a small pole building for hay, and then put some fencing in for a little corral area and maybe some parking for a trailer. If you wanted to make this a vacation rental, it would be very easy to make this a vacation rental that would attract horse owners. Horse owners are always looking for a place that they can go vacationing and ride their horses on trails. And that's one of the benefits of living in North Idaho, is that there's trails everywhere. There's more government land to ride on in North Idaho than there is privately owned land. So something to consider. You can put in an ADU, but it would be just as easy to put in, or maybe even easier, to convert this building into a duplex and put in a little horse facility, so you could board people overnight and charge them a little extra for horse and a little extra for a hay bale. So to feed the horse, so they don't have to ship pack their own hay for their horse. That's about it. This is a really long video, 24-ish and a half minutes. I think we're going to close it up here, and hope you like the video, and I hope you like seeing this house, this really, really wonderful house, and enough to consider putting in an offer.